Hey guys, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to Jobu's Day Job. Without you guys, you know this doesn't work. One of the things I've run into, and here's the thing, in my mind, I always try to fix it better than it was before. You know, like people will go through, oh, we're going to replace our carpet and stuff. If there's underlying issues, I like to try and deal with them before we do stuff. We had, well, you guys might remember the kitchen that we remodeled over in Maryland, that they ended up getting new flooring and they put it up over top of a messed up floor, in which case it had to turn around and come back. So this room is being remodeled for our guest room, and there's a problem with the floors. It's old carpet, but what you'll notice is there's some places where, let's see where, you hear it squeaking? There we go. Right there. It's like a seam in the plywood. So every time you step on it, boom. And what we found out is when they built the house originally, it was built in 1984, they used 5/8 inch plywood for the floor, which is smaller than what it's supposed to be. Now, they may have done that in all the houses in the neighborhood, and you think, well, why would they do that? Well, if you think about building 100 houses, and let's say you use 20 sheets on a floor, and let's say it saves $2 a sheet, that's $40 in plywood right there for one house. If you do 100 houses, well, that's $4,000 that you're putting in your pocket, so it adds up. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take some 7/16 plywood, or excuse me, OSB, oriented strange board. We've taken up the carpet tacking that was around in here, and we're going to put this down on the floor. It'll raise up the floor 7/16, just a half an inch. We may have to undercut the doors, but we're going to go through and screw this 4 times every section into the floor joist. And what this will do is this will lock the floor together, and it'll take care of soft spots in the floor that have kind of happened over the years. And that way, when you walk across the floor, it'll feel really, really good. Now, one other thing too, another tip, if you're doing carpet, and this is true in most things, people will look at the tile or the carpet and they'll put all their money into buying the carpet. But just like when you're laying ceramic tile, the underlayment of that is just as important, if not more important. You can get away with having a cheap carpet if you have a good padding underneath of it. So don't skip on the padding, because even if you put a great carpet down and you put a cheap padding, it's going to feel like cheap carpet. And the same thing when you're doing ceramic tile. Don't ever buy like the $7 bag of mortar, because if you read that bag of mortar, what it'll tell you is you need to add a additive to it to harden it up. And if you don't put that in there, 6 months from the time you put it down, that stuff will be coming up off the floor. So we're going to get the new subflooring down in here. We'll put down new carpet tacking, and we're going to put in a good heavyweight roll of padding. Now, personally, because I'm a contractor, I deal with supply houses and wholesalers. To give you an example, to get a heavyweight carpet padding, if you go to Home Depot, it's about $150 for a roll that's 30 yards. That same roll, which actually has waterproofing and water block vapor, so if you have a dog that pees on the floor, it won't penetrate to the subfloor, I can get for about $65 from the carpet wholesaler. And what you'll find is going to specialty places, you'll actually get a better price than if you go to your home centers. Not that I'm going against Lowe's or Home Depot, because Lord knows I go to both of them a lot, but it's some things that you want to go to the professional shops to get. So I've got to cut some plywood and bring it on upstairs here and get it in here. Then I've also got to go ahead and cook dinner, because I've got my keto diet that's coming up, and live stream tonight. So that's a little tip. We'll come back on this and let you know how it's coming once we get the subflooring in and get ready to put down the carpet. But the room doesn't look too bad here with this kind of sky blue and the molding repainted. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you soon.